everyone. Welcome to Let's Talk About It with Dora Sherry. Get ready for some lively discussion.
It's time. It's Dora. Let's talk with Dora. Let's talk about it. It's Dora. Come on, y'all. Let's talk about it. Let's talk with Dora.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Let's Talk About It. I'm your host, Dora Sherry. And if you're wondering why I'm wearing this Bobo shirt tonight, no, it's not my new nickname. I haven't renamed this podcast. It's actually in code. And the only one that can decode it is our guest tonight, my friend, author, anti-violence activist, Randall Daniels. Randall, thank you so much for joining us tonight. How are you?
I am wonderful. Thank you for having me. How are you this evening?
I'm wonderful. Got my Bobo shirt on.
I absolutely love it.
Love it. Okay.
Love that you were wearing it.
Always. I always wear it. People always ask me about it. Speaking of that, okay, we all want to know, what is Bobo?
So Bobo stands for better options, better outcomes. So that slogan is just, that's just what we use to carry Bobo's name and message throughout the U.S. and throughout the world. We've been blessed now to be in 8 countries. But, it's our way to say, hey, if we choose better options, we have a better chance for a better outcome. So it's mainly, we do suicide prevention, bully prevention, violence prevention. So usually if you're able to walk away from a high tense situation, chances are you won't get a black eye, bloody nose, or somebody shooting guns, right? So that's our better options, better outcomes. That's how we
we sure need that, don't we?
Yes.
I also know that Bobo is your mother's maiden name, and Bobo was created in her honor. Is that correct?
Yes. Let me also start off by saying, Miss Dora Sherry, thanks for having me on your show. You look amazing. And, thanks for allowing us this platform to kind of share a little bit about what we do. But yeah, so, my life, unfortunately, I did not get to grow up with a mom. I lost my mom at age 7. So I don't have a lot of memories of my mom, about 3 strong memories, and some small ones I can kind of remember a little bit. But, one day I just had this thought that, hey, I want to make the world know that Bobby Bobo was a real person, right? And so everybody who knew my mom pretty much, went on home. And so I didn't know what I was going to do. God just gave me, said, hey, I want to make, so I said, well, so later on I said, well, God, how can I make the world know Bobby Bobo was a real person? And so one day God just said, tell your story, which includes growing up without a mom. And so my mom's maiden name is Bobo. So her name is Bobby Bobo Daniels. And so, God dropped this into my spirit, this idea into my spirit, that I wanted to create like a Smokey the Bear type character. And that's what we sought out to do. I researched Smokey the Bear, learned a lot about Smokey. At the time I was researching Smokey the Bear was 75 years old, and learned about how he came to life. And so we brought Bobo to life. And so I didn't get to have my mom growing up. But now I get to have my mom every single day as Bobo and I, as we go around the world, make an impact. And so didn't have my mom in the physical growing up, but now she's with me every day as we try to really fight to inspire thinking to save lives. That's what we like to do.
Wow. Now, Bobo is your sidekick, but he's not your usual sidekick, is he, Randall? He's
no. So Bobo is really a cool he/she. So I've had so many people to say, as a boy, girl, and Bobo is unisex, And in actually in the actual mascot, so now we do have an actual real Bobo mascot. And the reality is sometimes there's been females to wear the mascot, sometimes there's been males to wear the mascot. So I call Bobo unisex, whatever the child or person wants it to be, that's who Bobo is. But now that we've been blessed to have an actual real Bobo mascot, it's elevated everything. So we go into schools. We've done a few pep rallies at school, and kids are loving Bobo, getting to get their pictures with Bobo. And so it's just been all these things have been very much just exciting, just just given by God, right? Now I don't know on the podcast. Am I able to share a screen on the podcast? I don't know.
Well, I don't know. It's all a learning process for me too. Try it.
Okay. Let's see if it gives me a share screen button. Let's see if it gives me a share screen. I want to show.
We're comfortable here, Randall. We're not going to stand on.
All right, share screen. I want to show you something about Bobo. Let's see, share screen. Let's see. Let's see if we go here. Let's see if we share.
While you're doing that, tell us why a boxing kangaroo.
Okay, so for me, I started raising myself at age 12. So I raised myself from age 12 on, and became a drug dealer at age 13. And we're going to just take that off for a second. I became a drug dealer at age 13, and so what was that? So I started boxing at around age 11. So I started raising myself until I started boxing maybe around 10 or 11. And boxing saved my life, literally, figuratively. It helped my mental. I was getting in a lot of trouble and made a lot of bad choices, but I fell in love with boxing. So boxing began to give me discipline, and boxing helped me to, as I was a drug dealer, to easily, in the drug dealing world, they say, don't use your supply. So, I took care of my body. So it worked perfectly. I was making money as a young kid and not using my supply. And so when I was trying to think of a Smokey the Bear character, I was trying to figure out what animal to use. So I was looking at all these different animals, and then I came across kangaroos. And kangaroos, they box. That's part of their nature. They box. And I was like, that's it. God said, that's it. That's it. That's the mascot for me. So Bobo. That's
there. Hey, Victoria, our producer, pulled it up there.
Yes, that's it. Yes. And so that is Bobo there. So he is a boxing kangaroo. And that's how Bobo got chosen as our mascot. And that's the real Bobo right there. That's his heavyweight Bobo. So, yes. So
he is knocking out violence too, isn't he? The two of you together.
Yes. We've been blessed now that we have, I just finished the 9th book. The 9th book will be in my palms by next week. Be in my palms by next week. And so everything that we're doing is all centered around mental health space. And so just trying to help not just young people, but parents, grandparents. I was just in a parent session about a week or two ago. And, I'm 63 years old. So I was raised as a kid in the 1960s, right? In the 1960s. And believe it or not, a lot of parents still raise their children how I got raised in the 1960s, at least in the African American community. So, which my household says, hey, if you are afraid to fight somebody back in the street, then you're going to be in trouble at home. So it was kind of promoting you solve conflict by violence. We didn't know that. My parents didn't know that. It was just, hey, it was just how it was, right?
Defend yourself. Yeah.
Huh?
Defend yourself.
Yeah, defend yourself, right? So, but we weren't teaching skills of learning how to walk away, learning how to talk it out, learning better options, right? And so what I've been discovering is that in 2026, and then 2025, now 2026, many parents they still teach with that same philosophy. If you come home, you're afraid to fight, you're going to, be in trouble. You got to deal with me as the parent. And I'm always explaining to parent, but it's just a way different world in 2026 than it was in 1965, 68. Nowadays, you get in a fight and they come back and they do a drive-by. So that's real. So since we know that is real, we have to tailor the message. We have to change the message, because drive-by shootings and retaliation shootings are real and are happening in kids. I rode by a shooting a couple weeks ago here in Cincinnati, and when I rode by that city, I was headed home. Rode by that shooting. It's all roped off, taped off, yellow tape, and everything. And that was day number 8. That was 8 shootings in a row. And I don't know how many days we went without one, but that was 8 shootings in a row. So 8 shootings in a row was not happening in 1968. Okay. No. But now it does. So we can't have that same message, And so I explained that, when I was getting that message, we had rotary phones that most people won't know. And then we had push button. And then we had push button phones that came later, right? So now we have these cell phones. So now we have this whole new different animal. Yeah. But we still have the same message being taught. And so it's not gelling. It's getting kids killed. It's getting adults killed. And it's so they don't have any other skills besides violence. That's the skill that they learn. And so our job is to try to change that message.
They're living in violent communities, and that's all they know until someone comes along like you and teaches different. Now you're teaching in the schools, right? You're teaching right where that violence and stuff is happening.
Yes.
Right there in the trenches.
Yes. I get the chance to be in the schools and to really learn, watch the children and see their dialogue is much different than when we were kids growing up. So everything is different, and including that they have the cell phone, right? So I was doing some exercises about 2 weeks ago at a few different schools. And the exercise was the children just had to tell me about themselves. And Dora, this paper was very basic. It says, like line number 1, it says, I am. And everything, you got to give me 3 answers. So I am whatever it wants to be. I'm black, I'm white, I'm tall, I'm smart, I'm, cute, whatever. And then it was, I like candy bars, ice cream, basketball, whatever you like. Things I dislike, right? So anyway, this paper, I'm just saying all these things to say that it was very, very, very basic. In every school I went to, Dora, all the kids struggled to do it. And it's sad. It was all the children were probably 8 to 12, and they all struggled to do that paper. Now, a part of it is they've never really been, told to write about who you are.
Yeah.
So that's a part of it. The other part of it is this tool right here. They don't have to do any critical thinking, thinking whatsoever. They have a computer in their pockets, in their purses, in their hands. And so that takes away this critical thinking element. And this is really very significant and important, Dora, because this is today and then the future. So as we're talking, we're trying to plan for the future, and we know we have to plan for the future with this. So how do we win and how do we be successful with this? And so on that paper, one time towards the bottom, you had to list aunts and uncles. So it's just 3 aunts, 3 uncles. If you got 3 aunts, 3 uncles, it could be a aunt and 2 uncles, but 3 relatives.
Yeah.
And then a grandparent, grandfather, and cousins, right? So all these different lines, but so many children. This is amazing to me, and I didn't expect this to happen. I was just making a little easy exercise. They couldn't name their cousins' names.
Wow.
But they played with their cousins. But they probably just, I don't know, they were having brain freeze, I guess, but couldn't name the cousins, couldn't name the grandmas. But what took the cake for me, and I'll be able to preach this for the rest of my life. I had a kid who's 11 or 12 years old, Dora. It took him about 20 minutes to remember his mom's name.
Wow.
Yeah, wow. The teacher was the teacher, the regular teacher. I do after school programming. She was getting frustrated, and she was saying, "Well, what do people call you?" He says, "I don't know. I just call her mom."
Oh,
The teacher
wow.
says, "What do people call your mom when they come up to you guys?" And they're saying, "Hey, Linda, Tina, whatever," right?
Yeah.
And it took him about 20 minutes to realize what his mom's name is.
Wow.
Now, so and all these kids are struggling with this paper. So this is the reality of what we have to understand for our future here in the US and abroad and everywhere, right? So what I attributed to was this. They have to do no critical thinking, right? Everything they want to do, if they need an answer, they go in here and they just say, "Hey, what's the answer? Google, what's blah, blah, blah," right? So that's those same kids. I imagine they can subtract, 5 from 10 and 5. They know 5 times 5. I'm assuming, right? They probably know those things, but not critical thinking outside of that, right? And so that little young man, about to say he's 12, he'll be 18 in 6 years, and he probably won't have any critical thinking skills. And so if he's carrying a gun, what most teenagers tell me when I meet with teenagers, most teenagers tell me everybody has a gun. So I don't know what that means in percentage. In their version, in their minds, everybody got a gun. So if you get in a fight, there's a good chance that person got a gun. So it could be, but it could be 30%, 50%, 80%. But teens tell me everybody's got a gun, meaning that's the culture, right? And so when this kid like this he doesn't have any critical thinking, even though his mom's name, what's he supposed to do when he's 16, 17, 18, and he's got a gun and he feels like, hey, something happened and boom, this gun is what I do. I've been playing video games and I shoot and kill. This gun is what we do. And so you see so many of these young people when they go to court and the judge say, 20 to life, and they're sitting there crying. They probably have never even critical thinking. They've never thought about, okay, I'm going to spend the rest of my life in jail. It seems like that's a normal thing to think about, but many of them haven't, right? Yeah. And so it is attributed to this phone. And I'm not calling these phones bad, but we have to learn how to teach within this, right?
How to use it.
Yeah. So I think about how the phone has muted our thinking and our critical thinking, how we process. So growing up, and I'm probably you probably the same. Growing up, if you bumped into somebody, met a friend, and you didn't have a piece of paper or ink pen, you had to concentrate to learn that number right there at the moment. Yeah. Okay, I want to meet her. Right, I want to spend time with her. And you got to get you guys. What's your phone number? Boy, you get them digits. You got to remember. So we had to remember phone number. So we knew phone number, knew grandma's number, aunties, cousins, knew phone numbers, right? Now, so it just showed you this error. Now, this is so real, probably for most people. I don't know anybody's numbers. I don't know my brother's number. I don't know my sister's number. I don't know my children's number. Neither. Right. So it shows you how this have taken critical thinking skills out of our brains.
Yeah.
You can see it visibly. So imagine that's you and I, we know what it once was. So imagine that 10-year-old that they've started with this.
Yeah. Yeah. They know no different. They just get answers and not reasoning, not thinking it through, just the answer. Right.
And so I don't really know if the parents are teaching, hey, you got to know your address. You got to know your phone number, your address, all those things that we probably took as just basic, because you had to know your address, you had to know your phone number, and I'm assuming that most kids don't even know their own phone number. I'm willing to bet, because they're not giving it out. They probably got to look in the phone to give somebody their phone number.
Yeah, I bet you're right.
Yeah,
because I have to look in mine. Right, I barely remember my own phone number most days.
Yes.
Now you're not just working in the schools. Your books, we mentioned you're an author. Your books are actually being used to teach in the school system, aren't they?
Yes. I got to tell you, this is probably you're not really supposed to have a special child. So right now I have 8 children, about to have 9, but I do have a couple special ones. This one is my #1 seller, and this one is just because it is a graphic novel, and it's a book for ages about 14 and up, and it's Bobo. He's doing a Zoom call with rapper friends, and we cover, we just cover things like suicide and depression and things like that. And but one of the reasons why this book is so special to me, so my 2 brothers and I, we all became drug dealers, and my baby brother, he just really kind of followed after me. My older brother followed after me too, because I was the first one that became a drug dealer in the household. I was 13, but I lost my baby brother at age 20, and so when I'm out here kind of teaching, I have a high passion, and I really try to help people to understand, and I really keep it real. And I think that's what's been able to really elevate our work, and I call our work our ministry, because we're able to be real and teach. And when you have to go identify a body, which I did, so and as many people, when you have to go identify a body for the people that never have, it's a different animal. You're broken, right? So when we see all these drive-by shootings, and some mom gets called, hey, your 10-year-old son got hurt, can you come to the hospital? It's just it's an out of body realization. And so anyway, but this book here, it just kind of shows my baby brother, and that's me with the tear.
Wow.
Body. But it just kind of shows, and there's a real picture of my baby brother in the white jacket.
Aww.
And that picture was from 1987. And so we're able to really get in the community and teach. And then we have just Bobo books for the younger people. So we have Bobo books for the younger people, and then I've been really blessed. So I've been creating my own curriculum for the schools now for about 2 or 3 years. So I started putting my curriculum in book form. So now we have Bobo things that they can, they design their own shoes, and we have shoes. I've probably got over 1,000 shoes designed from throughout the world, and people when they design Bobo things, they can get them put on our website. But we just have so much. But all these are things that's been developed over the years.
Wow.
And yes, and so
word search and maze and all kinds of puzzles.
And let me see if I can find this picture here. This is the picture. I'm gonna show you the picture that I was trying to find on my computer. I love this picture because this picture is so special to me. When I created Bobo, I had no clue that Bobo, the mascot, and this is a God thing, it's not me, but the mascot is people with children and youth with autism are gravitating towards Bobo.
Oh, wow.
And this picture here, this picture I was trying to find, I'll show it to you. That picture there, that little young man, I had the Bobo on that day. He kept talking into my ear saying, "Are you Pawpaw? Are you Pawpaw?" And his voice sounded just like one of my grandchildren. So now this is the amazing part. So I have the Bobo costume on, and I can't see his face because he's talking on the side of my side of my ear, right? And so, but he sounds like my grandchild, one of my grandchildren, right? I have many. But so I want you to see the connection. So inside of me, this little boy sounds like my grandchild.
Aww.
So you can feel that love, right?
Yeah.
Now he felt I was his grandfather. So the spirit, you follow me? So he's on the outside feeling the spirit that's on the inside of Bobo as his pawpaw. So that means he feels that's a safe, warm person inside there, right? Dora, I didn't know the next day his mom calls me and says he has autism. He never opens up like that. I was blown away.
Wow.
I was blown away.
Bobo.
Yeah. And so
They'll
then
talk to a character before they'll talk to people like puppets and mascots. And
yes.
what a great idea, Randall.
Yes. And so, you know, so a few months later, we were in California doing an event, and it was a camp, and there was a lot of kids with autism. They had a part where they had kids with autism, and it was the same thing. These kids gravitated to Bobo like it was unreal. So I'm learning. So I didn't know this was going to happen, but I'm standing back, and I was like, okay, wow, Bobo has a little magic formula for kids with autism.
Wow.
It's just amazing. Yes.
Let me ask you this. We talked about I'm sorry, I didn't mean to step over you.
Oh no,
I wanted to touch on something that's really important to me about you and your books. These same books that are used in the school system to teach reading and anti-violence, written by you, as a man who was a young boy struggling to read. Am I saying it right?
Yes.
You struggled horribly to read as a child.
Yes.
And now, how many books did you say? And how many are in the
so I have 8, but number 9 will be in my palm. You know, the athletes, they be putting their fingers up. Number 9 will be in my palm by next week. It's already ready. I'm already off to the print and everything. So it'll be in my palm next week. Yeah. And, you know, I got lucky, Dora. So I raised myself from 12 on, right? And so I didn't do homework, except math, because math was my subject. All the society I learned, if you know money, if you know numbers, that's all you need. So boom, math, I was an AB student, right? But nothing else. I didn't read books and didn't do homework really. So subsequently, I was a slow reader. And, you know, my friends, nobody knew because I didn't read out loud. And, you know, and then I was a good athlete. So I think everybody just thinks good athletes are smart people, right? And so nobody really knew. But I got lucky in around 1980 or so, 80, 81, 80 or so. A couple friends of mine wanted to do a talent show in the high school. They wanted to do a rap song. Now, in 80, 81, rap wasn't really out. You know, this was before rap was really a thing. There was a couple songs out, but anyway, we're just gonna have fun, do a talent show. Yeah. So here you are. I'm like a 17, 18-year-old kid, slow reader, sitting at the table with my 2 friends. We have a record player, that we just keep playing over and over and over, and we're writing down lyrics, and all of a sudden, I had 2 legal sheets of paper, the long yellow legal sheets of paper with all these words. Like, I don't do that much. All these words, 1 page, 2 pages of all these words that I had written, and now I have to read them to a beat. The magical part was, and I was with my friends, and now we were all like sharing the sentences as we come up with them. And then each one, oh man, that's so good. Oh man, I love that. Oh, that's so good. So it was so much fun, right? So one person, wrote, going to wham, going to slam, going to jam to the beat, going to make you want to move your feet. And then, oh man, because I'm bad as hell, finer than many. I'm the jig and all the women plenty. Oh man, that's so good. So good. A kind-hearted lover for the sweet young girls who's guaranteed to shock rock the world. So now as we're writing all this, oh man, that's so good. So it's so much excitement. We're having so much fun writing all these words, right? So now this is where the rubber hits the road. So now I got to be able to say them to that record. My friends don't know I'm a slow reader. So everybody's doing their parts, and then I can say mine. So what it taught me was, so I wasn't able to learn reading the standard way that they teach us in the American school system, but you can learn to read different ways. Yeah. So reading rhyming syllables helps most people. That's the foundation of learning to read in the U.S. is Mother Goose. Yeah. So it's Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. That's 8 syllables. I never knew this till I started researching it. Humpty Dumpty sat on the wall. Then watch this. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. 8 syllables, 8 syllables. That is exactly what rappers do. What
Wow.
Mother Goose did is exactly what rappers do, right? Now, so I started. So watch this. This is the crazy part. So now, you know, we do the rap song. We were like the talent show. We were like superheroes. We was famous, like Michael Jackson or something, right? So much fun. But anyway, so we all went our own way. And then a few years later, rap becomes a real music opportunity, real music business opportunity. And so we got together, started trying to pursue a rapping career for a little while. So now I'm just writing lyrics, making rhymes, making beats. And then one day I had to read like just a regular legal document. I had to read some kind of regular legal document. And I had that document and I read through the document and I'm probably, let's say 22-ish. And maybe 23. But when I read through the document, I said, wow, I can read.
Wow.
Just like that, Dora. Just like that. So all these writing rhymes and reading rhymes, writing rhymes and reading rhymes, it made me a better reader. When I was in school, you know, we had these standard books that they gave us. Like one was like the Kill a Mockingbird, Diary of Anne Frank. Those books didn't interest me. And then the wording, you know, so every time I got handed one of those books, every bad grade that went with it. So they give you a book, they probably know how many quizzes they're going to give you to get quiz here, quiz. So so those were all going to be bad grades pertaining to that book because I was not going to even crack the cover. I never even cracked the cover, right? So what I created was, in learning that, and this is the thing, right? So once I started learning, so now after my rapping career was over, now I'm just, you know, raise my children and things like that. And I started doing Bobo. I started researching how rhyming helped me to become a better reader. So now there is science to it, right? And what I discovered was many, not the Department of Education, but many schools, I guess that are businesses that teach English as a second language, Dora, when they have these people come here, these foreigners, so they're 25, 35, 55, and they introduce them to Mother Goose.
Wow.
They introduced them to Mother Goose. And it makes sense. So instead of introducing them to the Diary of Anne Frank, they introduced them to Mother Goose at 55 because the rhythmic rhyming patterns makes it easier to learn English. And now there's science that shows that. And so that's the magic, is magic. You know, and when I was rapping, so I was before it started. So all these music, the industry experts, they kept saying rap would not make it because rap wasn't a song. So they were saying, so when rapping started, you know, we rapped the whole song. We didn't have a chorus, line, hook, bridge, all those things, right? So the music industry people said, yeah, this won't work. This is going to be a fad. Songs have to have a bridge, a hook, a chorus, line, verse to be a song, right? So rapping was different. And so we changed the mode, right? Now, but watch this. Let me turn this phone off. This is the magic. I really want to stress the magic here, right? So I was a part of the rap industry when they didn't want it, when they did not want it. And now rap is the #1 music art form in the entire world. In the entire world. I'm talking Japan, China, Korea, US, Puerto Rico, wherever. Africa, it's the #1 music art form worldwide. Now, so when you break it down and take a look at it, Dora, but rap didn't make any new instruments. They didn't make any new instruments. They didn't create any new sounds besides maybe like the beatbox or something like that. So what made rap take over? If it didn't create new instruments, new sounds, what made rap take over? It is the rhyme. It is the rhyme. There is magic in the rhyme. So when I was a slow reader growing up and raising myself, same thing we're talking about with the school that teaches that second language. But it had a teacher came to me in high school, but they probably never even thought of it back then. But had a teacher came to me or to any parent that had a high schooler, let's say that's 15 slow reader, and they said to that parent, hey, let's maybe consider letting your 15-year-old son or daughter read Mother Goose. That mom probably would have been offended. That mom or dad would have been offended. Yeah. And I would have been offended also. If some, I'm a 16-year-old slow reader. If somebody said, hey, read Mother Goose, I probably, who I was back then, I probably would have cussed them out, got suspended, got in trouble. Hey, don't be insulting me to read Mother Goose.
Yeah.
So now that I understand the formula, right? Has somebody introduced me to something like this? Now, you're not supposed to have a favorite child, but this is my favorite child.
I'm smiling really big because that's one of my favorite books.
Yes. So this one right here is a poetic love story, and it's really poetic because it's rhyming all the way, and it's only about a 4-hour read.
Yeah,
but it's like a 4-hour poem or a 4-hour rap song, and it all deals with love. But the flow of the book, it's just amazing. So it is like a whole book of like Humpty Dumpty, Jack and Jill ran up the hill, but it's
it all rhymes, every bit of it. The whole entire book is poetry.
Yes.
You're a genius with that. You really hit your niche when you hit that.
Thank you.
Rhyming.
I got to tell you a little funny story about it. So about last summer or 2 summers ago, I was at a boxing event, Boxing for Peace, and it was an outside boxing rink. And so an older gentleman, he came by my table and he said, yeah, I might buy something. He said, I'm going to buy this love story for my girlfriend. So he buys a love story for his girlfriend. And now boxing is happening. So this is one of the greatest compliments ever. So boxing is happening. It's packed out there. The guys are in the ring. Everybody's boxing and there's all excitement. The news people there. It's all this excitement. The gentleman takes time to start reading the book he bought for his girlfriend during the boxing event. So he comes over to the table, and me and my friends who were helping me, we didn't know what he was saying, but he comes over, he says, yeah, I'm spitting bars. Now he's older, so he's trying to be hip, right? He's older. So he says, I'm spitting bars. And we're like, what are you saying? He says, yeah, I'm spitting bars. So he said, I've been reading the book. And so this is what he did. He took me to a page. I'm gonna flip to that page. He took me to this page is broken down by days, right? He took me to Friday, day number 6. And now you got to understand, he's reading this to us in the middle of the place packed with boxing stuff happening, right? He says to me, where my bifocals at? He says to us, this is what he says. He says, Bobby spent a portion of the night of day 5 writing Jeffrey a note. The note was filled with mixed messages on every line she wrote, hoping not to see him anymore because her heart is becoming a float, but really wanting to see him because he makes her heart beat a quarter note. The note she wrote would leave anyone quite confused, including her own heart, which has opened a door that she's trying to diffuse. Why me? Why now? She pondered to herself. I love Isaiah, and there certainly is no room for anybody else.
Aww.
And when he read that, I was like, oh, wow, that you are spitting bars, sir. That's what I said. I said, man, you are spitting bars. And so that was one of my greatest compliments ever. And about a year or so later, is unbelievable, I bumped into that girlfriend. I was at a Bobo event. And she says, my boyfriend bought one of your books. And she gave it to me. How great. And she talked about how he loved it and da 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 da. But I got to meet the girlfriend that he came and said he was spitting bars. That was just amazing.
That's a great love story right there.
Yes.
Yeah.
And now this, and so now, so the two main characters in this book here are, so this is the reason why this is my favorite child is, so I use the characters. So I was having a hard time, since it's one continuous story, I was having a hard time remembering the character. So you know how you write, so you may write this character at the beginning and you don't talk about that character no more till the middle of the book. And I had never done a book like that. So I was like, oh, what was that? What was that character's name? Oh, what was that character's name? And then I got to go read 20 pages. Oh, okay, there it is. That was the character's name, right? So, and that happened to me about 2 or 3 times. I said, okay, I got to figure something out. So all the characters have my children's names. All the characters have my children's names. And then, but the main character, and this is why it touches me so, the main character is Bobby, and that's my mom's name.
Your mama.
And Jeffrey, that's my brother that I lost at 20.
Oh.
So Jeffrey and Bobby are already happily engaged with rich fiancés. And their fiancés aren't just rich. They both have super rich fiancés. So they have 2 super rich fiancés, and then they meet.
Uh-oh.
And they start to fall.
Uh-oh.
But they're both entangled with, and they're both in love. They're both already in love, and their life is going to change forever when they get married. And then they meet. And how you talking about life throwing you curveballs. And
yeah, boy.
Yeah.
Like I said, that's my favorite, but one of my favorite. All your books are my favorite, but that's my very, very, very favorite.
Thank you.
That one, and you have such a variety. You have a business book too.
Yes. So this one here, actually, you can be who you can see, is my partner. So in the process of raising myself, so the person that helped me back in these days, he's coming full circle. He's back in my life, and we're partnering up on a couple big projects right now. But in raising myself, I was a good athlete, and I was mainly with older guys. But a friend, he was playing basketball on scholarship, and so we just played in the street. So when you play in the streets, I'm still playing with the guys who are on the school team, and they're going to colleges, right? Playing on scholarship. So one day, a friend, he was on scholarship, and he happened to be home, and he's at the park, and he says to me, "Rand, you could play college ball." Nobody had never told me that before. So he said, "You could play college ball," and I was like, "Nah," And now, I'm just saying, he don't know how much trouble I had already been in. I already had a record. Yeah. I had a record. Yeah, I was a drug dealer. I was like, no, man, I ain't. And then I'm a slow reader. That's not for me.
College is not in the equation. College is not in the equation for you.
The equation, right? So my friend, he didn't let it go. And I thank God for him. So he asked the coach, can he start? He said, I got this friend that could play for us, coach. He would make us better. Can I bring him down, let you meet him? Can he come and work out with the team? And he finally got me down there to his college. And then we're out there, we're playing, and I see with my own eyeballs, I'm better than some of these guys. And so for me, everything was about money, right? They're getting scholarship money. They're getting money, and I'm better than them.
Yeah. So
I said, okay, I could be a basketball player. I could be a college basketball player. So I was going into my senior year. But my senior year, for me, tragically enough, it was my 5th year of high school. So, I dropped out at 14. I think I started high school early. I started like 13, and I didn't have no mentor. I was making money, and I dropped out for about 8 or 9 or 10 weeks. And when I finally decided I need to go back to graduate, they told me that I missed so much my freshman year. I had to be a freshman again. So I had to really ponder, do I even want to do that? Do I want to go be a freshman So I want to do that or just say F it. So I decided to go back the next year and be a freshman again for the second time. So now when I'm talking to my friend, this is my 5th year of school. So anyway, and like I said, and I didn't do homework, but I knew people were saying to me, so now I'm playing ball. I'm trying to try for the team, and including him, and people were saying to me, this is how you do it, just on day one. So I remember I didn't do homework. I didn't have discipline skills. I had discipline for athletic sports, but not for schoolwork.
Yeah.
But they said just every day you come home and get to work, just do the work, do the homework, do the homework, do the homework. So I went into my last year, like every day they tell me to do something. If they say you got to read 7 pages, I'm gonna sit down, and I had to read a page 3 times to understand it. So, but I'm just gonna try my best to read the 7 pages, 10 pages, and just stay with it, right? Yeah. And so, but once my friend took me to the game, to the workouts. So this is what happened to me. So before my friend told me, before he showed it to me, I couldn't see that I could be a college player. So it was just somebody saying, you can be. And this was all my life. Somebody's teacher saying, you can be better than it. You can do better. You could be somebody. You could be somebody. But I couldn't see that thing. I just knew boxing and being a drug dealer. That's all I knew. Once my friend took me to those college practices, I saw I could be a college basketball player. You can be who you can see.
You can be who you can see.
So once I saw that I could be a college player, it changed everything mentally for me up here.
Yeah.
And fortunate and unfortunate, I didn't get to play college. I didn't get to play high school ball or college ball because they had a rule that you couldn't be a 5-year high school student. And so I was heartbroken, but what what he needed me to get is what he gave me. Yeah. I could see bigger than just my neighborhood, just my little small park. And it started letting me see that I can be things that I just can't see and touch. And so many kids, just like me then, we only think that we can be what we can touch. And if you're in a culture of violence, that's what you can touch. So you can touch this guy who's he beat this guy up, or this guy, he's got a gun, and now I can get a gun. He's got a gun, he can get me a gun. So we just see what we can touch. Yeah. And so when we're able to help people see bigger than what they can see, we can begin to change the world. And I believe that we can reduce gun violence. I believe that. And so I work every day to try to amplify that message. With Bobo.
Well, you said that Bobo was known around the world, and he literally is, isn't he, Randall? Your books for children, Bobo's books and things, where all are they now?
Yeah, so we're in Ghana, we're in Virgin Islands, Canada, Kenya, Puerto Rico, Zambia, Nigeria.
Wow.
And then in the U.S. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The U.S. Yep. And so the beauty of that is, if you can see the top. So all those kids up there, they're all coloring Bobo. And so it's just amazing that, sometimes I get chills, sometimes I get emotional, just thinking about my mom and her story and message is resonating throughout the world. And, she had to come back and she came back to see me as an angel. She knew that, I had a hard time with her death. I was 7. I didn't understand any of it. I didn't really understand death. I was at the age, and then, how she died was just, one day she was coming home, and the next day they said your mom died, and nothing never made sense to me. Yeah. And so I was out of control at the funeral. I mean, I cried. I was probably dehydrated, had a headache. I mean, I was in a bad shape at the funeral. And God and my mom, they knew they needed to let her come and see me. And she came to see me and told me that I was going to be okay. And so God had all this in plan.
Yeah.
This is already God's plan.
Yeah.
When he let my mom go home early.
Yeah.
You know, obviously, if I had a choice, I would have rather loved to grow up and be a mama's boy.
Yeah.
You know, but
Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to do the work that I do. I wouldn't be able to do the work that I do, you know,
That's
had
right.
I had that life. Yeah.
And you just didn't you recently get the World Civil Tree Award?
Yeah, I got a humanitarian award, World Civility Award last year in 2025, and it was from a king in Ghana, a Dr. Clyde Rivers. They award 20 of those per year worldwide, and I was one of the 20 for international efforts. And so,
Yay!
yeah. So that's it's been amazing. It's been an amazing ride, amazing journey. And we're actually just scratching the iceberg. Yeah. These are our Bobo therapy cards, but I call them.
I was just going to ask you about those, Randall. Those are the coolest things.
Yeah, these are Fenerope cards. So I took the TH off, not to stop scaring people away from this word.
Yeah,
therapy.
Nobody likes the word therapy.
Yeah, so we call them Bobo Fenerope cards. But these are just making such a tremendous impact. When I did these, I was at a parent event a couple weeks ago, and parents get to choose, or whoever we do. I do this with, I say grandparents do grandchildren, right? You do this in groups, but these are the categories you choose from. So let's say if you wanted to do anti-fight, it'd be blue. You wanted to do family joy, green. And so all these things are, family dysfunction is red. That's probably our most popular category because we cover topics that have been taboo in the family, you know. And so we did these cards the other day at an event, and it was not a dry eye in the room.
That's when you know you've made a difference.
Yes. And so one of the young ladies said, "Wow, I didn't know we were going to get all of this," but they were able to open up and share. And I'm a firm believer in therapy. I actually had a therapy session today talking to my therapist, and I've been in therapy, and it doesn't matter your age when you start. Right. I've been in therapy about 5 years now, and I started at age 58, and it helps me all the time. And whoever would have known. So, you know, this little kid that was 10, 12, 13, 15, 16, nobody never, ever said, how does it feel not having a mom?
Yeah.
Nobody never asked that question to me. And I had so many rough moments that me being able to say how I feel would have helped me. Yeah. And my journey was so crazy. So my journey was hard. So you got to imagine. So I'm a boxer. Before I started boxing, I was like a fighter. So here I am, this kid. I got a reputation of one of the best boxers in the city. Drug dealer. And so it would be days that I come home at 15 and I just wish I had a mom, and I'm crying. And so I didn't understand, for me at 15, I was grown. So I didn't understand why am I a grown man crying because I don't have a mom? Like, I'm not supposed to be crying. I should be over it. You know, I should be over it, you know? And so I couldn't. And so now, and then who can you tell? So my dad wasn't around. I can't call my friend and say, "Hey man, I'm crying, man, because I ain't got no mom." So you suck it up. And so whatever you have to do, and that's everybody, whatever you have to do. So me, I had two records that I play. And that was my therapy. I might play this record 10 times in a row to bring me back down. And then after I played that record, cried. And then I'll call one of my friends, "Hey, what you doing, man? Let's go play some basketball."
Yeah.
That was my therapy, which
Getting
was zero.
those emotions out
Yeah, but getting emotions out. Yes, yes.
and
And
process.
but it's absolutely amazing to me how I lived my whole life and nobody never said, you know, how does it feel not having a mom? Like that's like seemed like it would be such a basic question from so many different people that, you know, man, how's it feel not having a mom? It could even came from one of my best friends. Man, how's it feel? You know, we just didn't understand therapy and how therapy helps, you know. So that's what we do now. So these cards are designed for every household, you know, and I can imagine, I talk to parents all the time, and even for me, you know, and growing up, and when, you know, I was married. So imagine me, I'm a married man. One day I just grew up, I'm married, and I see the world from a grown Black man who raised himself. That's how I see the world. And now I'm married, trying to be a husband, never saw mom and dad interacting, coming home from work, you know. So only thing I know about a marriage is what I saw on TV, or, you know, when you go visit an aunt and uncle, but you're just in there to visit for a picnic or something like that, right?
Yeah.
I'm not living in the household, you know.
And everybody's on their best behavior.
Yes, everybody's on their best behavior. So I didn't really get to see interaction. Dad bringing flowers, or mom's mad dad he didn't take the trash out or whatever. I didn't get to see any of that. Didn't come home to home cooked meals. So now one day I'm trying to be a dad and a husband, and I don't even really know it. I don't know it. And so so you know, I think about, you know, myself. I probably was a hard person to be married to, and I'm sure so the therapy helps me with my children. But you know, when you're raising yourself, or however your life is, that dictates how you see the world, and
Yeah,
that dictates how you think and move and process. Yeah,
it sure does. The fun therapy cards aren't the only thing that Bobo has. He also has a board game. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes. So I have a board game. It's an anti-violence board game, and the board game is designed to teach anti-violence strategies without preaching to people. So the board game is set up like a Monopoly style board game. And, you know, when you think about Monopoly, when I got introduced to Monopoly, it was just a game. You play the game, you're trying to buy properties and stay out of jail. And so later on, I learned that the creator of Monopoly really did want to teach people about buying properties. So it wasn't just a fun game, it was an intention to it. Whoever would have known, right?
Yeah.
And so that's the same way with the Bobo board game.
Yeah.
There are some squares on there. One square says, watch this. I love this. It says, excuse me, road rage at any age, back 3 squares. So now watch people interact with the game and play the game, and they all hate landing on the road rage square. Right? So they know the road rage makes you go back.
They don't want to go backwards.
They don't want to go backwards. So it's subconsciously teaching them that road rage is negative.
That's right.
And then, but what was so funny is when kids would be playing the game, this blew my mind. I remember the first time I heard a kid say, "Yeah, my mama got road rage." Mama got road rage. I thought that was a daddy thing, right? So, yeah. So then more over the time, more and more kids say, "Yeah, my mama got road rage." So what that taught me was that parents that don't even teach their children to fight, right? They don't teach their children to fight. They may still drive with road rage.
Yeah.
And they don't know that they're teaching aggression.
That's right.
So when a kid said my mama got road rage, that means your children are in the back watching how you're cussing somebody out, giving them a finger, bam, bam, bam. So they're watching you and you don't even know, but you're telling them, hey, you ain't supposed to fight. You ain't supposed to fight. But watch me, bam, 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 right? Yeah. They don't even know, right? Another square that I like on there, it says, and this one is for like religion and race. It says, if you hate somebody that are different than you, stop. And I think they have to go back 5 squares. Now that square is designed for all the people that are at home. So now they're at the library, right? They're at the library playing a game, or they're in school playing a game. And somebody's been in their head at home, grandpa, whoever, hey, don't like black people because of this. Don't like white people because of this. Don't like Hispanic because of this. So that's what they're hearing in the house, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But when they're playing the board game, every time they land on that square, if you hate people that are different from you, you got to go back 5 squares.
Wow.
So subconsciously, I can battle that grandpa who's teaching hate because somebody looks different from you, because somebody has a different religion than you.
Yeah.
So that's the beauty of the Bobo board game, that we're teaching without preaching.
Without preaching. I love that.
Yes.
Teach, not preach.
Yes. So that's the beauty of the board game. So it's been good. So so I'm super excited. We have some big fish that we're trying to cook up, and it's been interesting. I haven't been on social media as of lately because I've been so busy with so many great things going on.
You're breaking up a little bit, Randall. You're frozen and broken up a little bit there.
Is it better now? Can you see me? Am I back? Can you see me? No,
I can see you, but you're not moving. You're not animated.
Oh, wow. No. Dora, is that we can teach without preaching.
Yeah.
Teach without preaching, right? And so the kids, to me, it's always amazing when I'm trying to get my kids to do something, even my grown kids, right? When they're the ones that are thinking about the idea, it's something I want them to do, but I want to let them think about it, right? When they think about it, they grab it more, they grab it, hug it, embrace it, right? So imagine a child that they really don't want to fight in the street, right? They don't want to, they would rather tell, if a kid wants to fight them, they would really rather go tell the teacher or tell another adult, hey, I don't want to fight. So this gives them another way to learn, so that there's a different way than what mom's teaching you or dad teaching you or grandpa's teaching you, right? So, if somebody's saying, hey, don't like that person because they're black, don't like that person because they're white, but then they're playing the game and they're like, okay, why am I not liking that person because their skin color is different? They can start to process it for their own self. That's the beauty of the game.
What a wonderful thing you're doing, Mr. Randall Daniels. Keep up the good work. And we're going to come back and check in with you again, because when you came on the radio, my radio show, People Helping People, how many shows did we make? 3 different shows. Yes. We haven't even scratched the surface of your show.
Yes.
So can you tell us if somebody wants to check Bobo out? Does he have his webpage, and where can they find your books?
Yes. So you can always go to our website, which is a phenomenal place. They can, they can color papers and present them to us. But that's bobodechamp.org, bobodechamp.org. And then they can follow us on social media with just Randall Daniels on Facebook. And then on Instagram, they can find me on RD Books. RD Books is just Randall Daniels Books, but it's r.d.books. And so they can find us on all those various platforms. But the website, Bobo the Champ, is the easiest one because they can talk to me right through there also. And then probably Randall Daniels on Facebook is very easy also.
Okay. And they on the Bobo the Champ website, can they download some of those things to color and stuff? Is there
that's a great question. I've been wanting to learn how to do that. That is a great question. And I tell you what, by the next time we talk and we come together, I'm gonna have an answer for you. But as of right now, they can just submit what they've colored into us, but I don't have where they can pull them down and do them. Yes. So we'll work.
You will have.
Yes. So I'm excited.
Well, Randall, thank you so much for taking the time to let us get to know you and Bobo. And hey, next time, will you bring Bobo with you?
Ooh, yes.
Because
I
we
wish
all
I had
want to
him
meet him now.
today. Oh, yes. Good thinking. Next time I'll have Bobo with us.
Yeah.
Yes.
All
That would
right,
be
my
cool.
friend.
Yes. Thanks
Thank
for
you
having
so
me.
much. And
And you keep up the
blessings
good
to
work.
you.
You keep up the good work. Yes.
Thank you. I'm
Talk
trying.
soon. All right.
And you too.
All right.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
Randall.
Let's talk about